camp is going to be Kenny Pickett, the quarterback. His teammate Cam Heyward actually recently spoke about that big drama that was surrounding Pickett's hand size, right? He says it got totally blown out of proportion. We're still going to talk about it because as we enter camp, is it still a big deal?
I wouldn't say it's a big deal. Cam Heyward is right that it was overblown, but that doesn't discount that teams did have an issue with it. I spoke to a lot of scouts and execs who said, look, anytime you see a quarterback coming into the NFL who has to wear gloves on his hand to throw the ball, a la Teddy Bridgewater and a few others in the past, it's sort of an issue for teams because especially if you play in the cold weather, they don't know if you can have the ball security, if you're going to lose fumbles, if you're going to be able to pick up the ball off the ground. If you're going to have to throw the ball off of different platforms and different angles. So not that Kenny Pickett cannot do all of those things. Those are just some concerns that some teams had about the process. So it is real. Pickett has overcome all that, and obviously the Pittsburgh Steelers, sharing a building with the Pitt Panthers all these years on the south side of Pittsburgh, they've seen him up close. They don't have an issue with it.
South side of Pittsburgh, where it does get it.
Standings. The Nationals open now to listening to trade offers for their best player. That after Juan Soto rejected their $440 million contract offer. ESPN confirming a report from The Athletic saying the 23-year-old All-Star World Series champion turned down the 15-year contract that would have been the largest deal in baseball history. Soto now eligible to become a free agent after the 2024 season. So his Nats, in a game where he had 2 hits but is not featured in the highlight outside of just the little establisher with the pink sleeve and the killer uniform, because Matt Olson top 3, Olson, Oppo, gone. Still a good crowd for a team that's more than 30 games under 500 in the nation's capital. Olson celebrating with the sword slash. That'll factor in just a moment. Austin Riley, next batter. Different part of the park, same result. I mean, that is a poke out there. That's 400 plus. Riley, we had an issue, Guillermo Heredia did with the sword slash. It's like you got to go up and down, up and down. This sideways stuff, you do this too often. Riley has 27 home runs this season. Top 7, Braves up 5-3, 2 outs, 1 on. They don't all have to leave the park to hurt, you know. Darno, he gets in on the slashing action. How is it, though? Can we judge it? Judge it. Is it any good? That's good. 6-3 Braves.
This guy never chopped a piece of wood in his life. Who's this guy? I think they call him the polar bear. Question for you. How much does a polar bear weigh? Enough to break the ice. Nice to meet me. My name's Pete Alonso. Did I say ice? I meant break the scoreless tie. Francisco Lindor comes around to score. Alonso breaking the Mets franchise record for most ribbies before the All-Star break, finishing the game with his leading 76. This one needed extras, but the Mets got it done in Game 1, 2-1. Your final. We go to Game 2, and is that Max for Scherzer on the mound dealing? Yes. Ian Happ doesn't think so. Thought the pitch was a little bit low and away. And matter of fact, so does Skip. Rossi thought so too. Happ, none too pleased that the Blue called that a strike. He went back to chirp him, and then Max Scherzer said some stuff that we can't repeat on early morning television. Listen, Skip was mic'd up during this whole thing.
Right exactly where they're going. I hope it's not on cue. Ooh, that could have been down. Come on.
Yeah, he didn't like that one. Ross had to break the fourth wall, take his headset off, and go talk and exchange pleasantries with Blue. Like I mentioned, Happ was ejected. Ross actually stays in. He got ran in the first game, so he can't go back-to-back games getting tossed. Still, Scherzer tossing a gem. Game tied 2 apiece, getting Alfonso Rivas down swinging. How about 31 strikeouts in his first 3 starts back from IL for Matt Max? He finished with 6 1/3 and 11 Ks. Extra innings, we needed more from Michael Givens in the pitch with bases loaded, and he hits Pete Alonso. That's the go-ahead run. Chicago trying to snap an 8-game losing streak. That's not how you do it. Metropolitans, 4-2 winners. So if you think you had a bad Saturday, listen to this. Michael Givens allowed 0 earned runs and took both losses in the doubleheader. Did you know he's the first pitcher since earned runs became official in both leagues in 1913 to lose multiple games on a single day without allowing an earned run?
All right, from the bad luck situation now to the best of Saturday. A little best of everything. Saturday's best arm. This was impressive. All-Stars Futures game, top 2. It's not the pitcher. It's Mason Wynn, Cards prospect. This throw to first, 100.5 miles per hour. That is the fastest throw that you will see from shortstop this season, American League over the NL?
It says 1,000 in the shot sheet, and I believed it. AA baseball, Amarillo Sod Poodles versus the San Antonio Missions. Leandro Cedeno, 527-foot home run. The Diamondbacks prospect, his 18th of the season. Me thinks the Diamondbacks should call him up.
Best handles NBA Summer League, Lakers and Mavericks, and Mason Jones up the court looking to put the defender on skates. Like, ooh, do Mace got the handles? Yeah. Wouldn't change you if I could, Mace. Lakers go on to win 95-84. How do you like your hip-hop references? Oh, circa 97.
What does he drive?
Oh, I don't know.
Mercedes. Yeah. All right, best sweep, World Championships, track and field in Eugene, Oregon, men's 100-meter final. The U.S. had 4 competitors in the final. They take the top 3 spots. You know why? These colors do run fast. First place, Fred Curley. Second place, Marvin Bracy. Third place, Traven Bromell. Hey, rookies begin to report this week. Let's start with some notable names on the offensive side of the football. Number 8, overall pick, wide receiver Drake London, and third rounder quarterback Desmond Ridder will report to Falcons camp on Tuesday. London was the first offensive skill position player taken off the board in April's draft. For the Jets, their rookies also checking in Tuesday. Gang Green selected Ohio State's standout Garrett Wilson with the 10th overall pick. The first time the Jets drafted a wideout in the first round since Santana Moss back in 2001. Wilson's teammate, Chris Olave, could be the very next pick to the Saints, who also report on Tuesday. Olave caught 35 scores with the Buckeyes, the most in Ohio State program history. And let's move on to the Titans. Those rookies report on Saturday. They also took a wideout in the first round, Arkansas's Traylon Burks, and in the third round, snagging Liberty quarterback Malik Willis, who was responsible for 74 touchdowns over the past 2 seasons. All right, so with rookies starting to report to camp this week, we bring our heavy-hitting veteran into the program. Jeremy Fowler joining the program. J-Bone, fantastic to see you. Never too early to start thinking about fantasy football and upcoming fantasy drafts. Who are some rookie wideouts that are going to make an immediate impact for their teams this season?
Well, Gary, you know I'm living that fantasy sleeper life. Everybody wants a good sleeper for their league. So here are a few players that I think could put up, some numbers, or at least they're trying to crack the lineup in a big way right now. We'll see how it shakes out. But I'm going to start with Jahan Dotson, Washington Commanders' first-round pick. I spoke to head coach Ron Rivera. He said this guy is a precise route runner, that he's very smart. He's great in the film room. He said he's everything you want out of a first-round pick. That's big-time praise from a veteran coach. Now, they have Terry McLaurin on one side, got Curtis Samuel on the inside. This guy could be that third receiver for them to spread the field for new quarterback Carson Wentz. Then here's a major sleeper is Tyquan Thornton. He's a 4.2, 840 guy, so major speed. But he surprised a lot of people when he went in the second round. It didn't necessarily surprise me, though, because pre-draft I was hearing he was killing it in the interviews. Very smart guy, understands passing concepts. And so New England has a crowded receiver room with 4 or 5 impact guys, but nobody has the speed that he has, so watch out for him. And then George Pickens. Nobody debates his talent. He was a first-round talent, but he fell to the second round, largely because teams had concerns with his professionalism, quite frankly.